Hey guys, welcome back to some more Tales of Arise.
We should be able to cook here.
Yeah, shut up. But now we are heading back to Alphen's ship, if I remember correctly. Right. And to do that, we need to go to the first area. Yeah, back to Uzbek. So let's head on and get this over with. Oh, show on the road. Hey Dee, how you doing?
Chin up. This is your hometown.
Yes, we're back where it all started. Also, a skit for liberating Calaglia.
Everyone around here looks so much happier than they used to.
And
Oh,
Shionne's blocking
feels like an entirely
Alphen's
different place.
face.
I suppose it's had time to adjust to its newfound freedom.
Zephyr would have been so happy to see this.
There's those pesky wings again.
He really would have. Especially if he knew Law was... Law? Something bothering you, Law?
Nah, I'll be fine. It's just, you know.
It still weighs on you, doesn't it? Running away back then.
I abandoned my home. Then when I finally come back, it's been liberated. What's important is that it's free. I get that, I do. I just... I should have been here.
I know you love the wings, that's why I kept it on. Someone needs to give Laura a big old hug. Alright, let's go see what's happening these days.
Oh, just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head too.
Hey, Nath.
You doing alright?
Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Dahnan disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
We're looking for
Yeah,
a spaceship.
We're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegus.
Lenegus? Are you out of your damn mind?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
Thank you.
I read through all
Oh.
of the records.
Does
but
it for
I only
us.
found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you
Roger.
should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. But there's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
Well, I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
We will do our best. and hopefully not die in the process. Nath, are you ready yet or what? Oh, I didn't notice you there, blazing sword, and I see, You're Law, aren't you? Zephyr's kid. Damn. When did you get so tall? Can't believe it. A little pipsqueak like you is running around with the blazing sword himself. Has a name, you know. I'm sure your old man would be proud.
All right.
Go ahead without me. I'll catch up later. You got it, boss. See you around, Law. Don't work too hard now. Do you know that guy?
I guess...
Can't say I do, even if I've met the guy before. Last time I'd seen him would have been when I was really little. You could at least said hello back to him. I'm the reason Dad's gone, remember? You know how much they look up to him here. Law. Sorry to get all sidetracked. Let's just head out. The boy really needs a hug. Hey, is Law doing okay? Not really. Zephyr died. Death is still weighing on him pretty hard. Can't blame him. Even if it's not his fault. That's a big thing to have carrying at his age.
Right.
But he's trying his best to come to terms with it. I have faith he'll pull through. Good. He needs your support. He's still just a kid, and Zephyr's only one at that. Okay.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
And we also have a skip. And PC Building Simulator decides it wants to update.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cislodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
No shit.
Actually, Dahnan owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in.
Oh,
Where they're
never mind.
born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby.
Aww.
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors? And his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels!
Now he's angry.
Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile!
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
And it's not also because he's small and adorable to sell merchandise. No.
Able to cook here.
Yes, we should. Actually, yeah, we should. Okay, we'll rest up here. At least we can have some food in before we fight anything.
I've got to be ready to fish on a moment's notice under any circumstances.
Okay, what should we go for? Heal, rare or defense. Attack. No, I didn't. All I just said is, have we been up to anything or just been chilling? I need to actually grill this for Dohalim's skit, so I might as well do that.
This flavor, why, it rivals the cooking of my own chefs in the palace.
Wow, that's some weird-looking meat you're cooking up there. What is it exactly?
That would be grilled rapig.
What?
Just chilling. Fair enough. That's good.
It's Rapig! How could you cook something with such cute little eyes? What did it ever do to you?
It looked at me funny.
Rapigs are perfectly edible creatures. Having said that, I do realize it's become rather rare to eat them lately. What with people increasingly embracing them as pets and companions.
They definitely didn't fall out of fashion to eat because of their flavor, that's for sure.
Agreed. Rapigs have tender, fatty meat. The taste can take some getting used to, but I would argue that's part of its charm.
If the taste is too strong, I imagine you can either just cook it thoroughly or simmer it with some herbs to mask it.
Indeed. At first I wasn't sure whether to smoke it with spices or simmer it in water, but I opted to grill it as is instead.
Seriously, Dohalim? You have the weirdest tastes.
That's probably because when you live the life of a lord, you grow tired of most ordinary cuisine.
So you end up seeking out more unusual food. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, putting aside what it used to be, you've got to admit it does look pretty damn good. Meat is meat after all.
I'm with Laura on this one.
Reminds me, I do believe I once read in a book about rare delicacies, how one can go about preparing an owl.
Quick, hide the bird!
I won't have the chance to try it anytime soon.
Not with Hoodle, you won't!
I wonder how a rabbit pig would taste. Would it taste kind of like a pig, or would it be me more rabbitish?
Kisara.
And that unlocks this, and I think this is I need to acquire the artifacts. Maybe me too. Would you reckon it tastes more like? Do you reckon it tastes more like a rabbit, or would it taste like a pig? Or would it be, you know... I was going to say something like a pig in blanket, but that's just a pig in a pig. So I don't think it'd be any different from that. I really should just put things, because I keep forgetting about these. So I'm going to have to start putting markers down. I need to do the training grounds for some of hers, but I also need to catch the fish for one of hers, but I can't get to probably it because I don't have the right amount of levels. It's just parts. Or a mixed. Or mixed. Could be, I suppose.
Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Yes, Mom.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I always am. I take it probably.
So we're back in the Zion mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
And she got that feeling.
Yes, really.
And then she could swear she could fly. Okay. Eeny meeny down, not that way. It's this way.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're
Apparently.
not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are
are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law.
Alright. Inwards we go. Ooh, but first. Mine. Berg Volcano. I think it looks quite lovely.
So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
Alright. So, looks like this one's the way to go. So we'll go this way first, which is down this way. Against these fire things. Hey guys. It's a flaming mass.
Out of my way! You're mine! Everlasting darkness. Negative gaze. Resonate with the earth.
Here's evil. It's a duel of the arts.
Vacuum blade.
Freeze lancer.
Bloody howling. Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Like moths.
This way.
Make it rain!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
My turn.
Come up.
Make it rain! No further.
And I pushed the wrong button, but hey, it killed it.
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
I think I might put Rinwell in, because I think she has a few water arts. Do I actually have any water arts? No. Do I have any for the air? I have a few air ones I think I've got equipped, but I'm going to need people who have water abilities, I think. Rin. Yeah, she has some water abilities. Law? No, you can sit out then. She has one. Two, I mean. And Dohalim. Alright. I think what I'll do then is I'll swap out Dohalim for Rinwell. Nope, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. Right. Inwards. Oh, we got some golems as well.
Gotta break through. I'm not done.
Not in your dreams.
Ow.
You're mine.
Bigger they are,
Stay away from my friend.
Did she just get one hit killed?
no armor can stop me.
Remind me to stay on your good
You're
side.
mine. You're finished. You're mine. Strike. Lightning thrust.
Come on.
Thanks, Shionne.
Be careful not to over.
Go.
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Alright.
Well done.
Not a chance.
Hit.
Stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
Far enough.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Am I... Yep, I'm aiming on the right thing.
Why'd you heal me?
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Okay.
We can really make weapons with this?
Gothic
Thus
dress.
our strength yet grows.
I think that's for Shionne. Alright. Try and think. Should I swap out Alphen? I don't think so. Well, there's no way we can climb that. So it seems allows me to step in. Wait, you're not thinking of trying to vault over with your rod, are you? Why, I haven't even thought of that. In any case, stand back and I'll handle this. Alright, so he can cause the things to grow. What was I doing again? Alright. Give me shinies. And I get stuck by some armadillos. Ah, so Law would be better with these things.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Yeah! Nice technique!
All back in their defenses!
Glad you had your uses.
I'll show you
Come on.
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Okay, so now I can...
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
There we go.
Plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much.
Then again, wouldn't it be... we'd get more food. Shionne would be happy.
Am I on a roll or what?
You sure are.
Bright and shiny mood.
Just fancy rock, so... Ooh, shiny.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
And now it's dead.
That firepower of yours is really something.
I could say the same.
My face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Shionne? Oh, wait. I bet you're hungry more than anything, aren't you?
Most likely.
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Just run past the golem. You'd not see a thing. But I'm probably going to have to face him once they turn around. Oh yeah, we've got materials, didn't we? Well, not materials, new... There we go. I think everyone's good. So let's head on in. Managed to sneak by. But not with this one, I didn't.
Looks like we came out on top.
We just need to make sure we stay there.
Right. And without totally overdoing it.
Absolutely. We're gonna overdo it all the time. Way to go up if we need to. Keep getting messages that Law can get his thing. What one would actually be useful? Super Swallow Dance. Put a pin on that one. Right, so down this way first.
A blip on our radar.
If you say so.
That equipment should come in handy.
I gather. It's for... No, it's actually not. It must be... Ah, here we go. Ah, but it's weaker than what we've already got on. Alright. We'll just leave her as she is. And I'll take that. There's a thing downwards. Alright, so I've got to go for this one, skip this one, and we can explore up here a bit. Is there any other enemy I want to deal with? He's got...
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
If you say so, darling. Whatever keeps you happy. Oh, downwards we go. Oh, you can build bridges as well.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
I don't know. Seems sturdy enough to me. Ooh, more defense. And upwards we go. Missed this one, and we can explore around here. Yep.
Guess I misread the landing.
And I couldn't sneak past it.
Sometimes I wonder where you come up with those moves.
I could say the same to you.
Good thing we're on the same side, huh?
And it was only for some red sage. Crystal over there. Bag, some more pine gel. And I couldn't sneak past that.
Garfield, you own that big?
Here, you want to try holding it?
Ugh. How do you even walk with this thing?
Magic. Okay. Want to get that crystal over here. Gimme, 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 gimme. Got it. I can run round. And jump down here.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny.
Oh, I was hoping I could push someone in.
Especially you, Law. No pushing anyone. Not even as a joke.
I'm not a little kid!
Poor Law. Always getting the rough end of the stick, isn't he?
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
Oh, is this just another way of me getting through? Ah, so I don't have to deal with the golems. Fair enough. But I will come back and take some of this. Got a lot of potions and stuff on us, so it won't matter if we probably skip a thing or two. But by the looks of that, we're heading into a boss. Yeah. Boss time! Oh, it's gonna be... Ah, it's that monster we fought at the beginning, isn't it? With, Balseth.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dahna's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that
First,
thing
we
gets into
kill it.
town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go!
And he got a pretty smile.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be aiming for.
Suddenly turning tails doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle?
Ah, okay.
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Here I come!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Okay, so I gotta keep an eye on him and deal with these things.
Eternal devastation! Come and face me!
Tiger Blade!
Vacuum blade!
Inferno Crossing!
Lightning orb!
Take it!
Wyvern!
Uh-oh.
Eternal devastation!
Let's just get this thing.
But this fight ends here! Gotta go faster! Now, Asuna!
Right!
Shit, shit. Oh, he's in the hand.
I can carve through armor! I'm not done! Vacuum blade! Eternal devastation! Take this! No escape! It's over!
Far enough!
Come on, just crack the crystal already.
Let's keep up the pressure!
Vacuum blade! There!
Shit, shit.
Not now, not ever!
There we go.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Keep stopping. You mean like this? Because I can... It's how I choose my targets. Or does it just keep stopping while I'm in the middle of battle?
You have to hold on!
Healing circle! Bring you back from death's abyss! Raging star! Resuscitation! Here, let me help!
Not done yet!
Shit, 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 shit.
Here, illuminate power! Come for him!
Yeah. No, no.
I'm not done!
Don't like the camera angle.
My head's spinning just watching you!
There we go. Core broken.
Reeling!
Take it down!
I'm not done! It's over!
Lunar corruption!
Eternal devastation!
Gale force! Lightning
Here I
now!
come!
Reload! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Okay.
Here come more!
We'll just have to keep fighting.
And more of these things. Oh, crap.
That's my cue!
There we go.
Shut him down!
This one's mine!
Now! Astral energy!
How does it seem now, anyway?
Not in your dreams. Hold on to your arms. Here I come. Piercing roll. Shining supernova. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished. My turn.
There we go. Now it's just this one thing.
You need to be careful with the blazing sword and with my thorns.
Shionne.
Shit, 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 shit. You gonna do anything by any chance, or am I just running around like an idiot?
Reinforcements incoming.
More of these things. Alrighty then, I'll see you. Well, I'll talk to you later. When you decide to go off. Come on. There we go.
Say no more.
Okay. Are you gonna actually... Okay, now it's actually gonna do stuff.
Everyone all right?
And I can't attack it.
We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
Alright. We have something that is for everyone. One ally, one ally. Sure.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alphen!
Watch and learn. That's enough. Go back down.
Back! Oh, it's dead. That was easy. Surprisingly. Oh, no. It.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dahna.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Okay, I just saw my stream thing go a bit funny. Unless someone in my place is something now doing stuff. Alright, let's just do this. Ooh, what to get? What to get? Strength and guard. Okay, hasn't done it for a while now, so hopefully we'll be good. Rinwell. Explosion. Let's increase your ammo. And I've got nothing I can do for Alphen. So these ones cost quite a lot at the moment. What do I need to do this one? Oh, I need to forge the weapon. And we've got a secret key.
I need to be stronger.
And we're all up to near 43. And I'll take this. Yoink.
Hey, is that it over there?
We found the spaceship. Got anything good? Nah, not really. You don't really have anything I want. Especially in the armor set. You can have some of this stuff, and I think we've got some old armor you can have. Except for that one, I need that one. Let's put it on now, and I can sell you my old stuff. Well, I could do it also in the forge section, so I can do this. You can take that and that one. There we go. She has a farm one that's a watering can. I believe also yours is a carrot. Where is it? There it is. He has a carrot. I think this would have been useful earlier on. Yeah, you're already high up. Same with that one. You can get that, and Shionne can get a Duga. Right. I think that one I need to make. That is the one that unlocks his next skill tree. Right.
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
Now let's go watch the ship.
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before.
Ooh.
This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
And somehow it still works after how many
3 centuries
years?
later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
That's what I said.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now.
Yeah,
No
chin
more
up, chum.
carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
Wait until the ship is ready for takeoff. So there's a camp over there. And I'm guessing, yeah. So basically this is point of no return. Anything I need to know before I head off?
What's on the other side of this door, anyway?
Why ask me when you can just open it and find out?
There we go. So it's just one I had to remember and come back to.
This is...
What's this? Some kind of bath? A treasury. It looks like something Belsev had built. Ooh.
But this is...
What are these? I don't know, I can't see if wings are in the way. I think they're sausages. Actually, they're wieners.
Kisara.
Kisara, could you make something with these? Sure, I could do that. Now! Okay, okay. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, alright. But don't leave me with the strange woman.
Oh.
Well, someone was living well. Can't believe Belsev was holding something so delicious. How despicable. Another reason things have got to change. Anyway, we should open this place up to everyone.
Wow!
I don't know what I've seen here, seen her so fired up. Not a bad thing. It's even if it's only because of food.
Nice one, Alphen.
Thanks. Gotta keep up with the competition.
Personally, I prefer Bologna.
Fair enough. Pork and sheared meat. And in here, royal cape.
My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Witch dress.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
And an Omega elixir. Neat. Witch dress. And royal cape. We'll go for Law making it.
Hey, that actually came out pretty alright, don't you think?
Yeah. Who to speak to? Law.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Hey, Alphen?
What's up, Law?
You ever find yourself just wanting to give Rinwell a pat on the back?
Law.
Not in a weird way. I'm just saying, she may be sassy, but she's also trying really hard, you know? And
No.
sometimes, when I see how hard she's working, I just want to walk up and encourage her. Is that weird?
No, I can see why you might feel that way. After all, she is kind of like a little sister to everyone at this point.
Right, exactly. But I'm worried if I do it the wrong way, she'll blast me with her magic. Or if not her magic, she'll sick Hootle on me to peck my eyes out.
Yeah, there's not much you can do if she's not feeling up for it. In fact, you're not the only one struggling to close that gap.
Huh? Has Hootle attacked you too?
No, I just mean because of her thorns.
And he's talking about
I don't remember
Shionne.
Rinwell having any magic like that. That sounds more like Shionne than... Huh?
Anyway, Hoodle's probably just worried that you're going to take Rinwell away from him. He's pretty protective after all. Maybe your first step should be to make friends with him and go from there.
Right. That's a good idea, Alphen. I'll be sure to give that a
Aw.
try.
Thank goodness for Lost Thick Skull.
I'll take guard duty tonight. It's fine.
Oh, he's just a cinnamon wolf.
Time to...
How is that your fault? Are you the deer? Do I have anything that does everyone? Don't want to use that. Problem is they're all knocked out.
That's better.
Grant me the strength to march on. From beyond, imbue this
Here's a
vanquished
healing
soul.
art.
It's gonna go for me, so I might as well do Rinwell.
This is some punishment.
Oh god.
Hold on to your art. Here I come.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Not in your dreams. Light astral purge.
No more playing nice.
Archaic waterfall.
Here, let me help.
Freeze lance. Aid.
Sonic Thrust! Sword Rain Alpha! Blow away!
Water, hear my call.
Dead.
Take this! Demon Fang!
Searing tempest.
Can't be happening.
Shit.
Double Demon Fang! No, it can't end here!
And we're all dead. So it doesn't matter anyway. But first we need to get prepared and get ready to go to space.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis?
Oh, it was Lenegis,
After all,
so I got that right.
This is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dahna.
No offense to Shionne and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dahna alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
Probably not.
The people of Lenegus?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shionne and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dahna. There are those on Lenegus who have never stepped foot on Dahna. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Dahnans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dahna. What happens next is on them.
Yeah, it's just payback.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegus. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shionne can finally get rid of her thorns.
And she can finally be held.
Shionne?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, aren't we all tuckered out? Oh, no, never mind.
Where? Shionne?
She gone running off again? Gotta go put a bell on her or something. Your party has disbanded.
Where'd Shionne go? How could she just go off on her own?
Well, considering the massive butterfly wings isn't a good giveaway, I'd say she's just right over there, just under the spaceship. I don't know, then again I could be just seeing things. Yay! Don't know what's wrong with it, I just think my computer just hates tails for some reason, because it always crashes with tails and not everything else.
Shionne! Shionne! It's your thorns? But why? You okay?
I know, it's weird.
Like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
She's magic!
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
Shutting up.
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
And then everyone walks in.
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shionne. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My
Quiet, she'll
thorns,
tell us.
they're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
Ah, she plans on
If
killing
I burn
herself.
away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan.
Now she fell
And
in
I ran
love.
with you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's too much. It's way too much.
I
when
got a
this all
thing.
began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shionne!
Alphen?
Hugs.
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alphen.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this.
And I cannot see his face.
Fight until the end together.
Best cutscene.
Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean
Painful. Yeah.
that it'll be the end of everything else too.
And this is where they kiss.
Shionne, what do you want? It's your decision ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shionne is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances,
Back up a bit. And now we just gotta talk to everyone and be on our way.
the end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shionne is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shionne doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dahna's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shionne in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renan would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of like, what's his face? The sand guy from Naruto. His stuff protects him as well.
How you holding up?
Fine.
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shionne's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shionne wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shionne doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Like a knight in shining armor.
I'm being serious. You went
It
up
is
and
gold.
held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shionne what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
When she gets all rid of all her thorns, you can give her all the cuddles you like. Hello.
Did you know?
You mean about Shionne?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shionne, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
That's right.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr,
He'd be
don't
very
think that
proud.
he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shionne. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Aww.
I need something to eat.
Well, we need to talk to Rinwell first. Then you can eat.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shionne's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything.
And eat all the
I
food.
thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shionne's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Yeah. Then we can buy a big house, loads of animals. Can I cook here? No, I cannot. And live on a farm. Or maybe we can live here once the spaceship's done. It's got a nice view.
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
I don't know, it was a few episodes ago.
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends.
Aww.
It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shionne.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that.
Kiss, 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 kiss,
Don't
kiss.
worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dahna and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water.
Right.
I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shionne. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
And there goes the butterfly wings again.
I think you may be right about that.
Members who have left the party now return. Yeah, I'm starting to love and hate these wings as well.
Then let's go. We depart for Lenegus.
They ruin the cutscenes, but they make her look pretty.
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shionne in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Yeah, you could practically hear his jaw hit the floor when she changed into that dress. What do we put? Since we're heading into a big battle, we're gonna need something either with a lot of health or a lot of attack power. Cheese fondue. Heal CP. CP. Where is the attacker? I think I'll go for something with more. Then again, defense. We'll go for the defense. Sure.
This is perfect! I'll have everybody's mouths watering when they see this.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
Let's get this skit with Kisara.
I've been thinking about what we discussed earlier. His reasons might not have been pure, but in the end, Dohalim still made Elda Menancia a place where Dahnans and Renans can coexist. I thought everyone would welcome that change, with open arms. I took pride in what we had without putting in the work to truly solidify it. After so much failure, do you think I even have the right to pursue my ideals?
Of course you do.
It doesn't matter what I think. You've already found your answer, haven't you?
I know what I want to say, but I can't help but wonder if I'm being selfish.
Everybody makes mistakes in life, Kisara. Everybody. It's what you do afterwards that matters. But you already knew that, right?
Yeah. I won't look away from the world any longer. I'll do my best to confront reality, so that we don't lose anyone else, ever again. More to the point, Dohalim needs someone who can push him forward. I think we both get lost in our sorrow too easily when we focus on the past.
If we see that happening, we'll set him straight. Don't worry. We'll look out for both of you. I have to say though, if you turned out this well modeling yourself after Miguel, he really must have been a great man.
What, you didn't believe me before? I'm pretty sure I've been going on about him since I joined up.
Yeah,
If
you
you
never
need
shut
more
up about him.
convincing, I've got plenty more stories about him.
Maybe another time.
We are
See you
now
tomorrow.
closer to Kisara.
Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Yes, Mom. Right, now we can finally get on the ship. Off we go to space.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Calm
Speaking
down.
of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
Dennis.
You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Dina.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Okay.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dahna alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
I christen thee Starship Dennis. Godspeed. Oh, it's off. There it goes. Oh, are we actually going to get to explore the ship?
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Dahnans feel pretty small too, huh?
If the
How much longer
Renans...
until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
Ah,
In that case, she's all yours.
yeah, so if the
Everything
Renans...
okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Alright, so if the Renans manage to do space travel, how comes we never hear them talk about probably meeting any other creature out in space?
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dahna.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life.
Thank you.
For as long as I can remember. They called it treatment. But in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched, helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you
He has
crazy?
a point.
Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction,
Oh, and that too.
then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shionne. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
Well, at least it's something. Oh, there is a back room. There's Lauren Rinwell. Nothing really up here. I guess we'll just have to talk to Dahnan.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well,
A lot.
it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Righto, well, let us know when we're close to Lenegis. And these two other lovebirds, how you guys doing?
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
And what's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's
Excuse
what
me?
it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys.
Quiet down before I knock your
I'm no
heads together.
expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dahna in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Humans weren't meant to fly! Okay, now we gotta find Kisara. Ooh. Not really a lot going on this ship though. Guessing these must have been the cryopods.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it.
Tomato, tomato.
That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
Aw, ain't you just a sweetheart?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, it's maybe a good thing I don't use you as a diary then.
You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Aww.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Aww. Really is just the mommy of the group, isn't she? Alright, we saw everything around the ship. Not a lot here. Can we land yet? Eh. I can get out.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
A fight.
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dahna. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only
Well, as long as you can
martial arts are
remember your
effectively
PIN code
underclass,
and bank
denied
stuff,
the
I'm
right
pretty
to
sure
descend to
that's the
Dahna,
more
even if they
important
wanted
thing.
to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder
And obviously
is considered
passwords.
superior to being a Dahnan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shionne?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Aww.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
Calm down,
I
Manuel.
am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelagian.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dahna, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
And I got a ton of fists.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shionne, we'll find them.
Alright. Seatbelts, everyone. Or, I don't know, what sort of seatbelts would you have on a ship? Harnesses. There's not even a planet, it's a space station. Yeah, we'll go for that one. Roller coaster like ones.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
Then what's the point of us being here?
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst.
And also a maiden.
In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Just throw him at the door. See what happens.
Shionne's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
All right. Members who have left, return to your party.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shionne and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side.
Landing on Lenegus.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For
What about the
such a loudmouth,
GB-heebies?
You sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
More animals. Seriously, why don't we just capture some and put them in a zoo? And treasure chests. So inwards we go. What happened here? Place looks like it's about to fall apart. Or people still working on it. It looks like it's been through a war zone. Lenegus!
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegus changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dahna?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dahna participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dahna, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're
Hey, it's
all
fine
waiting for
by
the
me.
Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
At least it gets you familiar with your duties.
We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
Nope. But I have no idea who that is.
No.
I see.
Pardon me?
Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
Okie dokie, no
I've
worries.
no doubt of that.
Speak to you laters.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself.
Bye.
Okay, Doe?
Right. Fine, we can explore around the place.
So who's Faria?
Law?
An old friend?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dahna.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shionne. We can't have a bunch of Dahnans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Rightos. So...
The Dahnans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
pretty much, in this sense. What was it? I don't know, let's just go for it.
What could be so important is worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process? It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dahna, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely
Wealth.
they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Wealth,
Whatever
power,
their purpose,
money.
disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
Yeah.
You heard him. You don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
An afterthought.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
Probably
What
not.
do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shionne. I'm sure we will.
It's just one big massive space station. And there's a place here, here, and here. And also something here. But since we're here, we'll go here first. Ah, it's just a big massive hole. And he's just becoming a water bender. Who would have just mine some strawberries?
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zugals have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it.
So there appears to be a hierarchy.
But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dahna.
You've come back for a visit.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Why, thank you.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Alright. And who else do we need to talk to? Someone over here needs our help. Heal. These. Oh, pardon me. In all my years, never have I seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. Ooh, fancy her fate recipe.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dahna during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone
Like me.
of that description?
She says. Yes, you're dressed in all in red.
No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dahna during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Got a few questions
Never
she needs
mind.
to answer.
Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
And before we head on in, anything hiding? No? They're healing. I guess we'll just have to talk to you then. And there goes the wings.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dahna competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
Please.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
Right.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Aww. Don't leave me just a little sweetheart.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything
What
that
do we
happens
do?
here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dahna? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shionne, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No.
No, I haven't.
Ah.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
Dun dun
But what
dun.
about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Dahnan. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second.
Are we gonna
You don't
fight
think
Volron
and
again?
the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma, the same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
True.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dahna, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Righto. So, again, another thing. Lenegis citizenry, and I've accidentally walked a bit too far.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do.
Cry, scream, and beg.
I mean, their sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dahna.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now.
In tears, look at their poor city up in flames.
Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Dahnans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, she has a point. They seemed very high up in class and society, trying to rule over others, and now they're dead, or they used to live here.
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dahna, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Ooh. So now it's just get information, is it?
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Dahnan city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
Because it's
She's not
only
here.
something the
What if
Dahnans
it
can
turns out
see.
we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Righto. The art of conversation.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
You've got the gift of the gab.
It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now
Probably.
you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm
They're
just
very
helping them
posh.
along.
Hey! What's got into Alphen and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Oh, we don't get to see it. That's a shame. Alright, let's go learn about the other lords. You want to know about which lord I support? Why are you canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency Ellswood Teledris. You probably know him as Lord Borsak. Ah, yes, Lord Borsak. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute, but believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. In fair to say that House Teledeles doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that. Yes. But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contests aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house. Yeah. Oh crap, I went a bit too fast.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Are we going to learn that they were kind of good people but became dicks after they became lords? Lord Dohali, you have returned. And I see you brought us... You've brought aside... Oh, AIDS. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes? Not only do I support House Ilquels, but more specifically his lordship personally. So much I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to anyone who would listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writing on the subject through the very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the list appears to be cut due to the recent tumult, I give up. I've been unable to upload them. I know since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed house Ilquaris, and his name Lord Dohali. Music is his passion, and the arts is his great love. The source of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it bringing me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, unshining in an era of prosperity to our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Huff, huff. Well, what do you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to apprehend it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
But maybe she was just trying to confess her love. And brings me back in the way. Well, I never to think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyries. What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dohalim or that dreadful Lord Alamedra, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from that has served House Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. May think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Thought I won't deny he can be strict. He puts Renans' interests front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegis, we should get on with colonizing Dahna and expand our horizons. That's why we will become masters of both worlds and overturn our current minorite status to Dahnan's surface. This is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. For I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride. Oh, that's good.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Dahnans?
Because they don't give a shit about the Dahnans and only care about themselves.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
We've got quite a big area to explore.
Pardon me.
There are fall underneath the sole jurisdiction of the House Carius. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant to our famed house ruled over by the extreme Lord Almedria. If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have ever emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theorized as to why this might be, but Lord Amelidra, I keep fucking up these names, questioned the doubt of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she uprise her father and previous family master, he also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She's a woman who stopped at nothing to get what she wanted, who gave her enemies nigh the slightest opportunity to strike. Truly, Lord Elemi is a woman of talent. No one in Rena better exploits the virtue of our nature's meritocracy. Soon the age of glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Alright, before we head down that way, let's have a look around. Sorry, authorized personnel. All the damage beyond here is too severe. We'll have to go around. Okay. Where's my house? I don't know. I want to go home. Me too. So I can't go, it's up in the corners this way, so I guess we'll talk to her, this guy, and then be on our merry way.
Ridiculous.
How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Ulwag Hildress myself, where it's not for his sudden death down on the surface. I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Ulwig is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident, like they say. As for how Volron ran Gareth Harros, don't get me started. I heard he enslaved not only Dahnans but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where the victor goes the spoils, but his actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this House Ligurius of his anyway? I never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. This is such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral art capable of ascending to the lordship in unheard of. None of it makes any sense. Not to mention all the upheaval around here of late was it happening to our people.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought. So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Dahnan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shionne and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Aww. Yeah, I don't... One thing I want to know, why isn't anyone probably from the surface telling their supporters up here that they're dead? Probably would sway their things probably a little though. Anything I can put my things to? Nope. So I think that's most things. Now it's just going around and picking up some bits and pieces. Oh, nope, never mind. Cutscene time.
There's something I just don't get.
What?
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right?
Yes.
In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over Holocom
Interesting.
maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
I wonder, could they have left their so-called motherlands because they destroyed it? That's my theory, and I'm sticking to that for a while. They must have done something to destroy their original homeland.
Doe?
Faria.
Ah,
Faria? Isn't that the person that Abakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahna already.
not at all. I'm here on business.
Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan rock, you haven't changed one bit.
What a bitch!
But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Oh. Things now got interesting.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
And you're just a bitch! Oh look, here's the red dress lady we've been looking for.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
It was her boyfriend.
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Now, is there anything back this way before we head on? No? Red dress lady's gone. Right, I guess just carry on. Double. Ooh, chest. Oh. Fine. I haven't fought anything yet, and it's been probably, what, at least a few hours. Nothing. And another chest. Ooh, some tofu. Some waterbenders. And inwards we go. Ah. Here's an inn and a place we can rest up, and I think that's where we'll call it a day. Well, here we go, another cutscene.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is quite pretty.
Must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renans sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dahna, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together.
Aww.
Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
Oh, I'm sad now.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Yeah, you've done a lot of good. Chill up.
Shionne's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Aww.
think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shionne. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
And who is dead?
Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
Oh,
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I
Oh,
see
you
a
bad.
medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
I would say let's kiss, but she would probably get. You'd both get beaten. Transfer skills. These are the badges. I clicked on the accessories, didn't I? Weapons. Ooh. Huh? Assault shot, even a bigger cannon. Alright. Few more books to still make. Oh, that's nice. And no one else gets anything, because I cannot afford it. Not that I can't afford it, more that I ain't got the materials. And is there anything I can buy? Oh, he's got a lot of stuff. That would do. Ooh, heavy treat. So this is where I can get some of the stuff that heals everyone in the party. Gotta get about half. That should do. Alright. And
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
goodness, I've never expected to be graced by Lord Dohalim and his companions. If there's anything I could do for you, please, by all means. Let's rest. Alright, well, I think I'll end it here. Because I'm scared this thing's going to crash again. And we should be continuing this next time, and hopefully we'll probably end up finishing it. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Bye.